Welcome to CIT228 Advanced Database Systems. My name is Lisa Ballbeck, and I will be your instructor for the course. I'm going to start by giving you kind of an overview of the course, and we will go through activities in the first week. So as you scroll down in the course, first thing you'll notice are some buttons. These take you to different websites that I think will be useful throughout the semester. And below that, we have a link for my live stream office hours, which are Sunday evening from 7 to 10 and Monday and Wednesday from 5:15 to 6:15 p.m. Not a morning person. The reason I have such a large chunk on Sunday night is that many of my classes have assignments due on Sunday night. So that will allow people to get help before they have to turn things in. If you need help outside of the live stream office hours, just send me an email and we can figure out a time that we can meet up. Below that is a forum for news and announcements from me. Anything I post to that forum is going to go to your NMC email. And what I typically would post would be when the weekly assignments are corrected, because that would be your cue to go and look at your score. And then if you miss points on anything, I will allow you to fix the error and resubmit, because fixing your errors in our field is a learning opportunity. And sometimes you can learn more from correcting errors than you can if you never make an error. So I like to give you that opportunity to fix your errors and resubmit. Below that is a student forum for you guys to share information with each other. I don't typically go into that forum. So if you have questions about the course or about an assignment, it is better to come into my live stream office hours or send me an email. Below that, I have links to our CIT department social media sites, and we will post events that we have throughout the semester, in addition to internship and job opportunities. So it is a good idea to follow one of our social media platforms. Then below that, we have some lesson blocks. And you'll notice I do not have all of the blocks open. I tend to have a couple weeks open at a time. And, then as we get done with that first week, I'll open up another additional week. So it's always a good idea to check the dates so you make sure you're working on the correct week. And if you open up the block, you can see right at the top what the activities are for that particular week. So for this first week, we basically have some orientation activities, and we are also going to go through the first chapter, first and second chapter in the textbook. Okay, so this is what we have on kind of on tap here for week one. So as you're going through the course material, in each of the lesson blocks, things are pretty linear. So you just kind of start at the top and work your way down. So we've got our syllabus. And when you select that, it's got my office hours again up here at the top. And then it goes through a description of the course. And the name of this course is going to be changing. The content isn't, but instead of being called Advanced Database Systems, it's going to change to Advanced Data Sources, because the description is really what the course is all about. And what this course does is we basically use code, and in this case, Python code, to interact with different data sources. And so that is what we are going to be learning in this class. Some of the data sources that we interact with will be text files. Some of them will be Python files that we create ourselves. And we do have a project where we're working with SQLite, which is a database. So we'll do a little bit with database, but we are kind of sticking with the description, which is data sources. Let's see. The book that we're going to use is the Python Crash Course, 2nd edition. The beginning of the book goes through the Python language, and we will be going through the language rather quickly because programming is a prereq for this class. So you all should have had a programming course prior to taking this course. So we will go through the programming language fairly quickly. And then we will be working on 3 projects. And those projects correspond to the 3 different ways that Python is used in industry. So we will be working with Pygame. So for those of you that like playing games, you will get a taste of how to use Pygame. We will also be using Python for data analytics. So we will be basically downloading, I think they're JSON files, although you could also download XML files. And we'll be extrapolating data from those files and creating charts and different things with that data. And then the 3rd project involves using the Django, which is a framework for doing server-side web programming using Python. So you will get a little taste of all 3, so you can kind of see how Python is used out in industry. As far as our editing software, we are using VS Code, and we will be adding the Python extensions to that. The way you are going to be submitting your work is you are going to be uploading your code to GitHub. GitHub does integrate with VS Code, and basically at the bottom of the assignment sections are directions on how to kind of set this up, and there's a video that kind of shows you how to do it as well. As far as our learning outcomes, I've got them listed here, and this course does assess our general education outcome of critical thinking. In this class, your goal is to get as many points as possible because your grade is based on total points, and we have 1,000 points in this course. And so here it kind of lays out what you get points for. And so in this class, although you can't really tell from looking here, you do have 2 tests. One of them is the certification exam. Okay, so you'll have a midterm and a certification exam in this course. And the certification exam is a professional test that you need to take at the Parsons-Doolin Professional Testing Center. So that is on the Aero Park campus. That cannot be done in Moodle because it's a proctored test. So we'll be talking more about that later, but I'm just kind of giving you a heads up now. And you can see that we've got the 3 different projects. Along with those 3 different projects, we will be sharing information with each other because you'll do the project out of the book and then you will do your own project. And your own project is what you'll be sharing with your peers. So you'll do a little showcase on it and then we'll do a peer review. In this class and in the other 200 level classes, we do have a networking and professional development requirement. And that is what is up here. So you have all semester to meet this requirement. And you basically have to do either professional development or a social networking activity. And if you click on the link, And these are activities of your choice. You can kind of see what the different activities could be. And if you go to any of these, you can see how many points you get. And even though it says you have to submit a 1 to 2 page paper, if you go to any of these events, all I really need is a paragraph. So you basically just need to tell me what event you went, what the date that you went on, how much time you spent, and what you learned. Okay, so you can kind of look at these different events. Quite often people will do a custom event. If you have a conference or anything of that nature that is IT related, you certainly can do that. Or if you want to just do professional development, if you want to take an online training class, then you should look down here at the time commitments, because this is how I determine points. So if you were to do a training class that lasted 7 hours, okay, you would get 40 points for that. What I would need you to submit is, the name of the training. If it's web-based training, I need a link. I need to know how much time you spent on it, and I need to know what you learned. Okay, and if you have any questions about this, you can feel free to ask, but you do have all semester to get that done. And as far as resources for professional development, I've included lots and lots of links. So if there's anything you want to learn more about or even refresh your memory about, you certainly can go through any of these sites and complete the tutorials. Just keep track of how much time you spent, because that has to be submitted so I know how many points to give you. And back over to our syllabus. So that's pretty much how you get points in this course. We have the assignments, we have a couple tests, and then we've got our projects and the different things we're going to do to share and showcase those, and professional development. Here's our grading scale. So it is based on 1,000 points, and your grade is a percentage of those points. And I've kind of briefly explained the different types of assignments that we have in here. So you can kind of look through this as well. And I encourage you to read through this entire thing, because this is kind of your contract with me as far as how this course is going to be handled. Then we have a college syllabus. So this college syllabus is the same for all courses. So once you've looked at it in one class, it is not going to change for any other class. So you can look at it once and then you're kind of done. The assignment schedule. This is something you should print out, because it does tell you every week what we are going to be covering. And as you complete the requirements, if you print this out, you can cross things out as you complete them. And it's just a nice way of staying on track. If you are going to complete work on campus, we do encourage you to watch the campus safety video. There's a link to that video here. And I also saw it over here in the college syllabus. As far as orientation assignments, there are 2. These are designed for you guys to share information with each other and get to know each other. So the first one is a student profile glossary. And when you go in here, you'll notice that I did an example one for you. But what you're going to do is click on add a new entry. You'll enter your first and last name. And then you're going to have to upload a picture. So you're going to click on the arrow here, click on the insert or edit image, browse, and then you are going to have to upload a file. So you'll choose file and then find it on your system. You'll select it, give it a name, and upload it. I already have some uploaded, so I'm going to go ahead and pick one. And the problem with these files is they come in and they are monster sized, which is really not ideal for what we are going to be using this for. So where it says size, you need to change the width to 150 or 200. And then just press tab or click over in the next box, and it should keep them in proportion as long as auto size is on. Okay, then you're going to want to do some alternative text for screen readers. This is me and my granddaughter. Okay, and then below that, I want you to insert either a quote or a sentence or two or some hashtags that are descriptive of you. Okay, so information that you would like to share with people. And where that is going to display, once you enter everything and you click on save, where you're going to see this is in the sidebar. So right now my sidebar is hidden. So if I show it, at the top is my office hours, office phone number, a link here to schedule an appointment for advising in my success. Okay, and then below that, you should see the student spotlight. And this is where those profiles are going to display. Every time you reload the browser or you enter our course, you should see a different student. Okay, so this is just a way to get a feel for the other people that are in the course and get to know them a little bit. Another thing that we are going to do, I'm going to hide this, to get to know each other a little better is to do a discussion forum of class introductions. So this is going to be a little bit more detailed. You are going to be entering a nickname or your name, whatever you prefer, any interests or hobbies that you have, what your major or program of study is, and any additional information that you want to share. Please do so. I took the opportunity to share information about myself, but you guys do not need to write as much as I did. I thought you may be interested to know what my background was, so I gave you some of my background information. Also told you about my hobbies, different things that I've taught, and that type of thing. So it's totally up to you how much you decide to write here, but it is an opportunity to connect with different people in our class. Both the glossary and the discussion are worth points. So make sure that you complete both of those exercises. Next, when you are done with the orientation activities, you are going to move on to our textbook. And so you're going to want to read the Python programming environment and chapter 2, which is variables and simple data types. Once you read through those chapters, then you can come out and take a look at the lecture demo. Now, embedded in the lecture demo are the hands-on exercises that you need to complete for the lab assignment. So the lab assignment is embedded right in here. So right off the top, there are some files that the textbook author refers to, and I've given you those files here. So you certainly can download and decompress this, and you will have some Python files that you can look at. And then we go through and talk a little bit about Python. And then the first hands-on that you need to complete involves checking to see if you have Python installed on your system. So there is a video that kind of shows you how to do that. And I've also got a link to instructions. And these are instructions that were posted by the textbook author. Okay, so you need to see if you have it installed, and if you do, what version, because you have to have at least version 3.6 to complete this course. And the current version, I believe, is 3.10. Okay, so 3.6 was several years ago. As far as downloading and installing Python, there's a video on that. The video shows you how to download version 3.9.1, because at the time I did the video, that was the current version. Okay. If you click on this link, it will take you out to python.org, and you will notice here it says download. It shows you the current version. But if you want to see all of the versions, you can go to the downloads page. And if you scroll down a little bit, all of the different versions are listed in here. So if you want to be just like the video, you can download 3.9.1. However, I would probably just go ahead and download the current version. Then part 3 here is customizing VS Code. Now, if you do not have VS Code, you can download it. It's free. And that is the software that we use for web pages. It's an industry standard for developers, and that is the software that we are going to be using for Python as well. So after you download this, or if you already have it downloaded, I would check for updates in VS Code, get it all updated. And then there's a couple extensions that you are going to need to apply so that you can do Python in VS Code. So this little video kind of walks you through how to do that, but you're going to want to use the extension button. Once you key in Python at the top, you're going to see all sorts of Python extensions. And there's just a couple that you are going to want to install. So you're going to want to install Python and then also Jupyter. Now, when I installed Python, Jupyter was automatically installed for me. Then when you install Pylint, you may not see it until you actually try to run your first program. It's kind of weird. When I tried to install it, I wasn't able to until I actually ran my first program, and then it prompted me and asked me if I wanted to install it. Of course, I said yes. So that may also happen to you. It just depends on how VS Code is set up and if anything has changed. Part 4, creating a course folder, adding and debugging a test program. Walking through this ensures that you have everything installed correctly. So you definitely want to do this because if there's a problem, at this point is when you need to get a hold of me and we need to get it figured out, okay? So if there's a problem, it's usually something didn't get installed correctly. Oh, and I should mention, I did upgrade to Windows 11. I have not noticed any weird things, at least with VS Code or Python. I haven't noticed anything yet, but I will give you a heads up if I notice anything that's strange. Then we get into the different programming modes. Okay, and then we actually start creating some programs. So in these hands-on, you will be directed to create a folder. Then within the folder, we're going to do a lesson folder. And then within that, you're going to start creating actual program files that you're going to run. Okay, and again, there's videos in all of these sections. So there's videos that you can watch that go through the code. There's videos that you can watch that take you through the hands-on. Okay, and then as you work through this, you are completing your lab assignment. And when you get to the very bottom, this is the GitHub part. So the way you have to turn this in is you have to upload it to GitHub. And so there is an extension that you are going to have to install. And you're going to want to walk through this. There is a video that kind of helps you. So you're going to want to look at the video and walk through this whole process. And then hopefully, when you're done, if you go to GitHub, and you definitely need to go and double check to make sure that everything worked. You'll have to go to GitHub and retrieve your link for me anyway. But you definitely want to go out there. And don't just assume that everything worked the way it should. So I'm going to click on my account here and go to repositories. And so you guys are going to have one that just says CIT228. Okay? Yours is going to be public. And when you click on it, you should see a chapter 2 folder or a lesson 1 folder. And then if you click on that, that's where your files are. And this is actually what I need. So, if you click on this up here and you press Control and the letter C, then you can come over here, go into the Dropbox. Add your submission. And if you want to give me a link, which is always nice, you can click on the link, Control and the letter V, open in a new window, create the link. Okay, whoops. Let me try that again. Control and C. Yep, there it is. That looks better. And then you'd save the changes, and that's all you really need to do to submit. So that is the first assignment. I do, again, have the software that you need to download and install here. Here's VS Code, current version of Python you have to have. If you find GitHub confusing, which a lot of students do, I do have an ebook and a tutorial here. Usually if people have trouble with the GitHub part, it is because they missed a step. I definitely can help you with this, but you are going to have to meet with me in Zoom because I need to see your system. So you'll either need to come into the live stream hours, or you're going to have to email me, and we'll have to set up a separate appointment. But I'm certainly happy to help you with that, because the procedures that we are using this week are procedures that we're going to use all semester. So it's really good to kind of have that working properly week 1, and then week 2, week 3, we just reinforce what you're doing. So if you have any problems or questions, please let me know. I hope you have fun with the course, and I look forward to working with all of you.